The U.S. Coast Guard, America's shield of freedom. Today, the Coast Guard, a lead agency in the Department of Homeland Security, is a military maritime multi-mission service committed to protecting America. The strength of our commerce and national defense, the wealth of our resources, and the health of our environment. Indeed, our continuing pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness depend on preserving the safety and security of our maritime frontiers, and this puts the Coast Guard squarely on the front lines. That makes us proud of who we are and the job we do. The sea is a dangerous place, and when trouble strikes, the Coast Guard gets the call. Every 30 minutes we respond to an oil spill or an accident involving hazardous chemicals. Every 2 hours we save a life. Whatever the emergency, wherever the need, our familiar orange and blue racing stripe is first on the scene and is how most Americans see us. But there is a lot more to see. First and foremost, the Coast Guard is a military organization, one of the 5 armed services of the United States. While we belong to the armed services community, we are a military service of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. This means that the Coast Guard has a broad range of missions supporting its 5 fundamental roles, which on a daily basis directly affect the lives, safety, and security of millions of Americans. We have served with honor alongside the Navy and the Marine Corps in every major conflict in U.S. history, including Operation Iraqi Freedom. Our cutters accompany battle groups around the world, providing unique expertise for peacetime and wartime operations, ranging from port security to intercepting commercial vessels and enhancing safety. Today, in support of America's war on terrorism, our role in national defense has broadened, both on the international and domestic fronts. As an example, through our active international training program, we help shape emerging Coast Guards the world over. Statistically, commercial fishing is among the most hazardous of all occupations, and recreational boating is second only to highway travel in the number of lives lost each year. But we are steadily improving safety on the water. Our primary focus is to prevent accidents by establishing manufacturing standards for boats and equipment, working with the commercial maritime industry to reduce human risk factors, regularly inspecting the thousands of domestic and foreign flag ships that call on our ports, and providing boat safety training through the Coast Guard Auxiliary. These efforts save thousands of lives and save billions of tax dollars by reducing the need for costly rescue operations and minimizing insurance losses. When an emergency does happen, we are the Maritime 911, the search and rescue experts. We respond to 40,000 calls for assistance each year, and every call is an opportunity to save lives or property, or both. In addition to our rescue efforts on navigable waters, we are increasingly being called upon to respond to inland emergencies, such as flooding and post-hurricane recovery. When it comes to public safety and security, few threats are as dangerous as illegal drugs. And the Coast Guard is proud to serve on America's front line against drug smuggling. Roughly half of the cocaine, heroin, and marijuana targeted for U.S. neighborhoods reaches our shores by boat, along routes through the millions of square miles of the drug transit zone. The men and women of the Coast Guard endlessly patrol the zone, and dozens of times each day risk their lives to inspect suspect vessels. The results are worth it. Together with state, local, and other federal agencies, we are stemming the flow of illegal drugs and helping to keep our streets safe and our young people drug-free. We are also stemming the flow of undocumented immigrants. Illegal immigration is a terrible burden on U.S. social services and a potential threat to national security. It is also big business. More and more well-organized criminals are orchestrating the influx of political and economic refugees, collecting huge fees for smuggling aliens into the U.S. aboard all types of vessels, making the Coast Guard's mission to enforce immigration laws far more complicated and dangerous than ever before. Just as important as shielding the U.S. from drugs and illegal immigration is our mission to ensure the safe flow of maritime commerce. 95% of America's international trade relies on ships and barges. Our waterways have long been an ideal means of moving goods within the country as well. Today, more than a quarter of our domestic trade moves by water, and a single 15-barge tow keeps 870 tractor-trailer loads off America's busy highways. All international and domestic vessels operating rely on buoys, fixed markers, lighthouses, and satellite navigation to ensure safety at sea. There are more than 50,000 of these navigation aids in U.S. waters, forming the largest navigation system in the world, and the Coast Guard maintains it. We also operate precision electronic navigation systems and provide vessel traffic services in the nation's most congested waterways. Whenever winter weather on the Great Lakes brings commerce to a standstill, Coast Guard icebreakers keep ships and other essential materials moving. In both the Arctic and Antarctic, our icebreakers support international scientific missions. And since our International Ice Patrol was created to track the hundreds of icebergs that threaten shipping lanes, not a single vessel has been lost to an iceberg collision. It is all part of our commitment, along with the Maritime Administration and other federal agencies, to do what's necessary to maintain America's world-class maritime transportation system, not only for the commercial industry, but for America's 74 million recreational boaters as well. The paradox of our waterways is that while they are vast, rugged, and dangerous, they are surprisingly fragile, and so the Coast Guard must not only protect people from the sea, but also protect the sea from people. Since the devastating Exxon Valdez disaster in 1989, the Coast Guard has led efforts for stronger regulations to prevent such tragedies. And with our national strike teams and pre-positioned response equipment at the ready, our country is better prepared than ever before to head off environmental disasters and to respond quickly and effectively when accidents do occur. Overfishing has dramatically depleted fish stocks worldwide, forcing fisheries everywhere to find new resources and exploit existing ones more ruthlessly. The U.S. Exclusive Economic Zone, or EEZ, which extends 200 miles out from our shores, is a primary target, since it includes some of the most productive fishing grounds in the world. To preserve this important resource, the Coast Guard patrols the more than 3 million square miles of the EEZ, enforcing laws designed to protect both our fishing industry and our marine environment, including the international moratorium on high seas drift nets, devices that indiscriminately kill marine life. These 5 fundamental roles define our organization and guide our missions. They are the core of what we do. But what makes us unique is our people. More than 70,000 military and maritime professionals who, whether serving on active duty or as reservists, auxiliarists, or civilians, proudly continue our long tradition of honor, respect, and devotion to duty. These are teams of highly dedicated men and women, using their training, skills, and intelligence to make a difference, enforcing the law, protecting the environment, saving lives, and keeping vigilant watch. People who give meaning to the Coast Guard motto, Semper Paratus, always ready. We are the United States Coast Guard, America's shield of freedom.